Now at McDonald's, a McDouble is $2.50, so you can get your gym gains on, or just get lunch for only $2.50. Get more value on the under $3 menu.
Limited time only. Prices and participation may vary. Prices may be higher for delivery. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
It's time for the Larry H. Miller Utah Summer Games at Southern Utah University in Cedar City. Register today to participate in the 40th anniversary season of a Utah sports tradition at utahsummergames.org. Participate in over 50 sports around the state. Then plan to join the opening ceremonies Friday, June 5th, presented by State Bank of Southern Utah. Register today to participate in the 40th anniversary season of the Larry H. Miller Utah Summer Games.
You're locked on to Scotty G and the coach, Tim LaCombe.
Now I know y'all are tripping.
Presented by Mountain Land Supply on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Hey, remember, the Copper Rock PGA Championship giveaway starts next week. One lucky winner will receive a Callaway Copper Rock Lodged golf bag and a $100 gas gift card starting Monday. The zone will pair the top 25 players with a qualifier, and one gets the remaining field. Be caller number 12 when we ask, and you'll be assigned a player. And if your golfer wins, then you win. It's the Copper Rock, all brought to you by Copper Rock, where the pros play. So I know you've listened to the station for a long time. It's a big deal because a lot of guys will call in and they're like, come on, Scotty Scheffler. And sometimes they hit, sometimes they don't. But at least it gives you somebody to root for in the tournament coming up next week.
I told Lloyd I'm going to do my research over the weekend. I'm gonna be ready to go.
Major pain in the butt.
I'm going to have a solid lineup ready to throw out there.
Yeah, I like it. And I would like to say that I do a lot of research on mine. I usually just pull up the Vegas odds and
probably as smart as anything.
Because obviously you want to win. You have a guy that wins it, but you just need to make sure all three of your guys make the cut.
Solid.
And if they're upper third, then you're going to be okay.
So is it just the three of us?
Yep.
We don't get BT involved in that?
No, I think, I think DJ steals those guys for something similar.
All right.
But, plus, I don't want to embarrass BT or Bob.
Because they do it for a living.
They do it for a living, and we just do it for fun. And so when we do a better job than them, it just puts them in a bad spot.
Come right in over the top.
Yeah.
It's what you do.
It's not okay.
I'm excited to talk to TJ. This will be fun.
Tony Jones expected to join us coming up here in just a moment. In fact, I'm a little curious to know how Tony's handling the recent success of the New York Knicks, because honestly, as long as I've known Tony, the Knicks have not been particularly good. I know you're a fan, Tony. Are you able to put the fandom aside with this Knicks run you guys are on?
I am a fortress of professionalism.
Oh yeah, that's true. A fortress of professionalism.
Hey, that needs to be your tag on Twitter. A fortress of professionalism.
By the way, Tim, can I just wish you congratulations, man?
Tony, you are and always have been so good to me. So I appreciate it, man. You're one of the real ones out there, and I sure appreciate that.
No, you've been good to me, and I when I saw the news, when you shared it on Twitter, I was not Twitter, but IG. I was very, very happy, and the photo in the video that you and Scotty did was absolutely phenomenal. So did we become best friends? That was great.
Yeah, that was fun. No, we're having a great time, and Scotty's keeping the thing where it needs to go, and I'm just following very closely.
Yes. Absolutely.
Hey,
absolutely.
About those Knicks, and it's really kind of more of a trend, I feel like the NBA's, you see OKC really well-constructed, versatile, able to shift if they want to play certain ways or match certain lineups from the other side. I feel like the Knicks have done a great job, too, of just instilling a team. And, you get guys like Bridges, who's played the most games in the last 5 years. Just speak to what do you really feel like this team's chances are to get there, to get to the finals this year from the East?
I'm going to put my fandom aside. I'm just going to be very.
Yeah, that's what I want. I want baller Tony.
Champions.
Yes. Yes, sir. Let's go.
Okay, let me stop. All right. Objective head Tony, not heart Tony. I'm still going to be very complimentary. I watched I watched because I'm covering the series because I cover the Sixers. But I watched the first 5 minutes of Game 1, and you know what I said, and you'll know this because you've had teams like this. You can watch the first 5 minutes of Game 1, and you say, "Wow, this team's been together for a while," because they know everything that they're trying to get to on offense. They know exactly where their rotations are defensively. When they get in transition, they know exactly, like Jalen Brunson's in the middle. He knows that Josh Hart is trailing. He knows that Mikal Bridges is fanning out to one side. He knows that OG Anunoby is fanning out to the other side. He knows that Cat is going to be trailing the play for the secondary break. I mean, there's just no guesswork with what the Knicks are doing right now, and it's made them a different beast for the Philadelphia 76ers than Boston was, because Boston, as good as the two J's are, around them, they were still trying, there were, multiple guys who hadn't been in the playoffs before, and the Sixers were able to walk them down in that series once Joel Embiid came back. And the Knicks basically, Joel didn't play in Game 2, but in Game 1, the Knicks basically ran him off the floor. They pick and rolled him to death. They got to whatever they wanted it out of the drop coverage. They knew that Joel wasn't going to be able to move to play up to the levels of the screen. And it was, you just see the Knicks and you just know that, they've been through the playoff wars, and frankly, this might be their time. This might be their time to win the Eastern Conference, and if they win the Eastern Conference, I certainly give them a fighting chance against whoever comes out of the West.
Ooh, so you probably won't like my prediction that I made earlier in the show.
Give it to him.
I said that not only will Oklahoma City win the NBA title this year, they'll do it in less than 20 games.
So that's not a hot take, though.
That gives them 3 losses in the playoffs.
Right. Denver did exactly 20 games in 2023.
Yeah.
They went 16-4. If you guys remember, I covered that entire run. I covered the Nuggets for that entire run. And they went 5 against Minnesota. They went 6 against Phoenix. Phoenix was the only team to be competitive. Phoenix got that series to 2-2, and then they ran out of gas. They did 4 against the Lakers. They swept the Lakers, and they did 5 against the Miami Heat. So I still think – I don't think they're going to go 20, because I think they're going to get the Spurs next series, and that'll go at least 6. And I think that the Knicks or the Pistons are capable of taking 2 games away from them. But it very well might be 16-4, because I don't see Los Angeles taking a game from them in this series, which will make them 8-0. But the one thing I would give caution to if I was an Oklahoma City fan is that there's going to be a shock to their system after this series, because it's going to get much more competitive very quickly, because they got Phoenix didn't have a chance, and Los Angeles without Luka didn't have a chance either. But if they get the Spurs, that's going to be much more competitive, and I think the Knicks or the Pistons would be able to be competitive as well.
You watching the Minnesota San Antonio series, I assume, because you're a ball. You cover so many teams, but you're also just a ball guy.
So it's ironic that you say that, because I haven't watched much of that series.
Oh, really?
Okay. And the reason why is because covering the Sixers and the Knicks, both of those games have started concurrent to the second half of the Sixers and the Knicks, which meant, obviously they're still going after the game, but I have to do post game and I have to do interviews, and I have to actually work for a living. And I haven't been. So I watched the last 3 3 minutes in game one. And then I watched maybe 4 or 5 possessions of game two. But I've seen the entirety of every other game of every other series, just not that one.
But that does appear to be a drag-out, knockout fight between those two teams. I love Minnesota. I love what they're doing. I love Anthony Edwards and his willingness to just say, screw it, I'm going to go out there and play. San Antonio may be too much for him, but I'm really enjoying this one.
I think there's a real chance that Minnesota runs out of gas in this series.
Yeah, I can see that.
In the later games. I think if Minnesota has any chance of winning this series, they got to win both of these home games this weekend. Because even if they win both of these home games, I still think that there's a chance that San Antonio wins the last 3 games of the series and wins in 7. Just because San Antonio's backcourt, the depth and, the defensive pressure that they're able to exhibit, their youth and the way that they're able to shuttle guys in and out. There's only so much legs that Bones Highland can have against that. So, I do think, obviously, Minnesota has a chance to win game 3. But then, if they do win game 3, then game 4 is going to end up. It's very similar to Denver and Oklahoma City last year, a series that I covered. Denver went up 2-1, and we all said, everybody was covering Denver was like, they're not going to win the series if they don't win game 4, and they did not win game 4. They were up 10 with about 3 minutes left in the third quarter, and then SGA just went crazy down the stretch. They walked them down, tied the series at 2-2. And Denver's last gasp was like game 6, and then Oklahoma City ran away with game 7. But that's the thing. Every other day in these series, the team it's often attrition, and the teams that are the healthiest wins, the teams that have the most legs wins, and often the teams that are the youngest win.
Mike Conley also played like 24 minutes in that game, and he only played over 20 minutes like 20 times this year. So, like you said, without DiVincenzo too, that's going to be tough. Is Wemby going to be the MVP next year and start a run for a while?
I think that he and Shea are the 2 best players in the world right now.
Right.
I think that, I think that this is about to be really, really near future. It's going to be his league. The things I'm pretty sure he's going to end up being the best defensive player we've ever seen. And, once his offense catches up, he's obviously great offensively. But I think that there's still things that you can do to game plan against him from the defensive side of the ball. You can still, put a Julius Randle on him and just kind of push him and root him out and, do some things with him. Once you can't do that anymore, it's going to be him and LeBron at the top, and Michael Jordan's going to be third.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, LeBron's number 1.
Oh, no,
Sorry,
no.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm just going to keep it civil. I love you, man. I do. I really do. And everybody's entitled to whatever they feel.
Even if it's wrong?
LeBron's number 1, and it's not close. That's the real take. I'm sorry.
It's okay. No, and again, I still love you. Nothing changes that.
I just want to caution the people who are enjoying this interview to really, really enjoy the rest of it, because it might be a long time before I'm invited back on this show.
No.
Make game day yours. Tickets, food and drinks, stats, and streaming. Everything you need is in the Utah Mammoth app. Download today and make game night easy. Download on both Android and iPhone. Just top.
Look,
Come on.
Look, TJ, Coach isn't mad. He's just disappointed in you. That's all. It's
even worse.
No, Tony, I'm neither. These guys can't put words in my mouth. I don't get into territorial, fragmented stuff like that.
I will say, Tony, you caused a stir on this station the last time you were on, and it turned into a social media frenzy to the point where I'm like, please, all you people out there, please just remove my handle from this because I'm tired of getting into all your fights. You said that if the Jazz are able to get A.J. DeBonsa in this draft, that they will win a title, not just get to an NBA Finals. They will win a title, I think you said, in like 3 or 4 years. Do you still stick with that?
Oh, I still stick with that. I stand by that.
That's my guy.
And I'm actually, you know what? I'll stamp that one. I'm with him on
Now,
that
can
one.
you imagine A.J. DeBanza at the 2, and you've got Lowry Markin and Walker Kessler and Jaren Jackson Jr. Oh, by the way.
Oh, Ace, you want to get some minutes?
You have Ace Bailey and you have Keontae George. I mean, that is an insanely versatile and talented group. I mean, it would be, if the Jazz get A.J. DeBanza and they have all of those weapons, you're taking $50-60 million in cap space this year, and you're saying you're going to any veteran that's helpful and saying, look at what we have. This team would be ready to. This team will win 50 games next year instantly.
Yes,
and be a top 4 seed in the Western Conference.
Tell me this: was when you heard about the Jackson trade, what was first thing that went through your mind with that? Like, you can't help how you feel. Like, you hear it. What did you think?
I was shocked. That was the initial, because, I knew, I mean, it was obvious that the Jazz did not want to win. So, you're shocked that you make a trade for a winning player, and then you analyze the trade and you say, oh, okay, in a bubble, in a vacuum, this is a good trade. But then you realize, they're not really going to play Jaren that much.
Yeah,
exactly.
Then you objectively look towards, this is what they're going to have next year. This is, this is good. So, it makes a lot of sense. Him and Lowry are going to be, very dangerous as booking forwards. And I think that, when you look at this team next year, you're going to be able, as long as this team is healthy, you're going to be able to keep 2 of Keontae George, Lowry Markin, and Walker Kessler or Jaren Jackson Jr. on the floor at all times. That's pretty good.
Okay, let's say that the Jazz are picking at 3, knowing what they have on that roster. Do you go Boozer or do you go Caleb Wilson?
I'm going Caleb Wilson.
I agree.
Ball knower. He's a ball knower. That's right where I'm at, too.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going Caleb Wilson because I'm just looking at that upside. I love Cameron Boozer. I see him as a 18-10 to 20-10 guy for a decade. I just don't think that he has a superstar gear. So if you're picking top 3, whether this works out or whether it doesn't, I want to draft somebody that I think has a superstar gear. And I think Caleb Wilson has it. I think Darren Peterson has it. I think A.J. DeBanza has it. I actually think Keaton Wagler has it, but I'm not picking Keaton Wagler over Cameron Boozer.
The interesting thing is I look at it every year, and obviously there's a pecking order, and I don't know how much agents influence all that stuff, but the Jazz last year did just that. They had the opportunity, and he fell, but Ace Bailey's on that list. Don't you feel like he's got that superstar gear?
I think he does have the superstar gear, absolutely. And it's funny that we laud the 2026 draft is rightfully being as good and as deep as it is and as talented as it is. It's going to be really hard for many drafts to beat the top 5 of this draft. Cooper Flagg, Dylan Harper, VJ Edgecombe. I think VJ Edgecombe could be the next Anthony Edwards.
He's incredible, man.
He's special, and I'm going to break some news on VJ Edgecombe. Okay, I'm finally ready to come out of the closet. So listen to this.
Okay.
So do you remember when the Rookie of the Year voting came out a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah.
Yes.
There was one person who voted.
Yes.
VJ got one vote, one second place vote. It was me.
We know that guy.
Love it.
It was me.
That's fun.
I didn't say anything on Twitter because I was looking at like all of the whoever voted gave VJ Edgecombe the second place vote should be tied up on a stake and burned alive. And I was just thinking to myself, I was like,
I better.
I don't want to jump into this one.
I better lay low for a while.
The evil Kermit was like looking at me like, "Do it." And, well, yes, it was me.
That's awesome.
But now that VJ's actually been on a playoff stage, and you guys, people have seen what he is, that's why I voted him second.
Yeah. Okay, let me ask you this: did you go Con or Flag number 1?
Oh, I went Flag 1.
See, okay, look, this is the problem I have with that, is that Cooper's going to get all of the accolades. Like, he's going to go down as one of the greatest. He's going to win MVPs, titles. Can we just let Con have this one? He had the better overall season. Let's just let Con have that one.
I don't agree that he had the better overall season.
He absolutely did have the better season.
I think this is why I voted Cooper over Con. You're comparing a guy who was a number 1 option all season to a guy who was a number 3 option all season. So, yeah, Con had a great season. But, I mean, Cooper, this guy was at the very top of everybody's scouting report, and he was setting records of his own. Now, I'm going to give you a reason why I voted. This is the reason why. What is wrong? My ice machine is going crazy in the background. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
The reason why I voted VJ number 2, and this is why I voted VJ number 2, because I thought that he was the best defensive rookie on the perimeter this year with Cedric Howard out of Memphis. I thought that those two were the best defensive perimeter rookies by far, and it's hard to guard point of attack as a rookie, and VJ Edgecombe did it, and he did it extremely well. He was Philadelphia's best perimeter defender this year. And the second reason, which is a lot more inside baseball, but it's my reason nonetheless, he was the only rookie in the class that had to scale all 5 responsibility positions this year. He had to be the number 1 option. He had to be the number 2 option. He had to be the number 3 option, the number 4 option. And in the rare instances where Joel Embiid and everybody else was healthy, he was the number 5 option. So he had to take on so many hats this season on both sides of the basketball. Still averaged 16, 5 assists, 4 rebounds, or whatever he did. And he did it for a team that made the play, not only made the playoffs, but made the playoffs without 2 of its 3 best players for most of the season. That's why I voted on number 2.
We'll agree to disagree on a few topics.
I can't believe you're dissing my guy.
Hey, let's not get this guy.
And he had to play with one of the ball boys. I mean, come on, that's not easy.
Hey, whose idea was it to have this naysayer on here?
I know,
today?
right?
Yeah. I'm just kidding, man. This is sports. This is what we do.
TJ, man, I love chatting with you so much. I hope you're having a good time back there in Philadelphia. You know we miss you, but we're going to get you on as much as possible, especially during the season, all right?
Absolutely. We're going to do the video thing, too. So
yes.
Tell Lloyd to never fear.
Yeah, we're going to make that happen.
And you get out here, you better call us because we're going to break bread. Okay?
We're going to go buy you a meal or two.
Yeah, absolutely. You're not buying me anything. I'm gonna do the LeBron
Dutch.
James thing in that movie, and I'm just gonna be like, yeah, okay, you owe 33 cents.
Hey, I will say this. LeBron's a hell of an actor. He did a good job in that movie.
Oh, he did a great job in that movie. He said, "See, I told you these refills weren't free."
Hey, you've seen him roll around on the floor plenty for no reason. He's a great actor.
Oh, wow.
Sorry, I'll leave it at that. No, we'll just get little things.
My favorite police. That's the best player in the world to you.
I thought last night his wrist broke. I mean, the way he landed, but he was okay. He was good.
He was okay. His hip broke. That was a foul. They should have called it.
I know they should have. It was awful.
Well,
he gets hit, and he gets more fouled worse than any
he
star
gets
player.
the worst whistle in the history of the NBA, according to JJ.
Agree.
You're the man, TJ.
All right, Tony. We'll see you soon, man.
Okay, I'm going to take my wife out for a sandwich for Mother's Day.
That works. Yep.
Hey,
does not work.
Hold on a second. It's on my ledger. Yeah, that passes.
Yeah.
You're good.
I think you'll be fine.
All right. I'll talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for having me.
You got it. There he is. Tony Jones. Man, I love that dude.